All right, so it is February 27th, Thursday. Good morning, everybody. We got Adam Peak, People of Packaging podcast host.
What's up?
And you got me, Evelio Mattos, Packaging Unboxed.
Is this going to be the week that the What's Up dies? It came and it went in a few
Yeah, I think
days.
What's Up is over. So
Yeah,
it was fleeting.
it was fleeting. It was from all the way back in the 1900s. So yeah, I get it.
That's right. It only had a couple of minutes to live.
Yeah.
If you do remember the What's Up commercials, go ahead and comment What's Up, because that was the worst.
Let us know. Let us know if you loved the Super Bowl Budweiser commercials, because we're probably going to be friends IRL.
Awesome. All right. So what are we talking about today? Today we are, besides What's Up, we're talking about plastic. I don't sell plastic. I design out of plastic. I help brands move away from plastic.
I don't sell plastic.
Yeah. So the question is plastic better? So stick around. You're going to get a unbiased opinion.
No, definitely biased. Very biased. Can't wait to bias you with it.
All right. So a couple things. First off, Adam, you pulled up, oh my God, this is like an article from the New York Post.
Yeah, and if you think that it's a little bit obnoxious when we talk about our sponsors, who we love deeply, don't go to the New York nypost.com website, because you will be bombarded with advertisements. It's almost unreadable, just the sheer volume of ads that are on that website. But it's an interesting article, I thought.
It's the worst, man. Like, there's pop-up after pop-up after pop-up.
It's terrible.
This is what we're talking about. It is
AC/DC, John Mayer, Brooks and Dunn, Beyonce. What do they have in common? Packaging articles.
That's right. This company, 787 Coffee Co. Have you guys ever been there? Let us know. What do you think? But basically what this is it's a coffee shop that hands out coffee in these Capri Sun pouches, basically.
Yep. I think they called it a colostomy bag. Is what it
a
says.
Colostomy bag of coffee.
Yeah, and that, a quote, New Yorkers are loving it.
Yes. And like, I don't know. I've got mixed feelings on this. What are your thoughts?
Well, at first I thought it was hot coffee, and I was like, what a disaster. And then I saw it was only cold brew.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, well, if Kylie Jenner drinks it, then I'm in. I just like anything that Kylie Jenner does, I just support. I mean, listen, it's innovative, it's different, so we'll give it to them. I'm gonna guess that it's a lower carbon footprint than like a cold, like a traditional cold coffee. We talked about like Starbucks trying to move to a compostable cold coffee cup, but that was kind of confusing. So, I mean, listen, is it going to solve the microplastics in your balls problem? No. But is it kind of unique and different? Yeah, I think so. So that's probably where my mixed feelings are. I don't know.
See, the cool thing with this, they're reusable. Right. You're drinking your coffee. You can bring this home. You can rinse it out and reuse it. Will somebody reuse it? I think so. I don't have a lot of friends, but the friends that I do have actually have some of these in the freezer, and they fill them with like margaritas and all sorts of stuff, and then put them in the freezer. And then whenever they want, they just pull them out, and they've got like this slushy thing that they just drink, and it's like ready to go. And they've got like 10 of these in there. So would people reuse them? I definitely think so. From a packaging standpoint, not the greatest branding, not the greatest.
Tell me, how do you know what the branding is on the packaging, Evelio?
They put it on a sticker, you know, like a Lisa Frank sticker.
So you're saying that sticker is part of the what would you call it? It's a part of the
It's
what's the word? What's the word I'm looking? Starts with a P.
Yeah, you're
It's
trying
in
to
the title of the show. It's in the title of the show. It's
yeah. Stickers are not packaging. Stickers are like if you have a sticker book.
Let's just pretend like there's no sticker on this packaging, right? Like,
Yeah.
How would you know what was in there?
'Cause it's coffee. It's brown.
Well, it could be coffee or it could be meth. No, I don't know. It's probably not gonna be meth. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought like
labels are packaging.
Thank you. Let's clip that forever. Yeah, I mean, I kind of struggle with this one because it's like people love it and all these all these people are coming in saying how great it is, and Kylie Jenner is going to 787 Coffee and she's sharing pictures about it, and it's like, yeah, okay, it's still just like coffee in a plastic bag. That's all. That's I don't know.
It's not groundbreaking, right? But it's different packaging. But it's a good way to show that, like, you launch something new, you can get some social awareness through cool packaging, right? And of course, like they're in the background taking pictures of her drinking out of the bag. I'm sure they weren't asked to do that in the background. It's all about how you present this, right? And this is Dustin, who reminds him of drinking a bag of milk in elementary school.
Is he from Canada? Did you ever have a bag of milk in elementary school? Never. Capri Sun. I was thinking like, oh, let's go Capri Sun. But no, he goes bag of milk. He's very Canadian looking. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, Chris agrees. Labels are packaging.
Evelio is right. Labels are packaging. That's all I got to say.
The other thing, all right. So let us know if you would drink that stuff, or if you would reuse that stuff, or if you've ever reused one of those things. If you have one of those, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
This article popped up, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's packaging. It's a packaging quandary. Plastic may have less environmental impact than the alternatives, and we've kind of talked about this before, right? When you talk about plastic, it's light. It doesn't use a lot of materials, but the big problem is recycling, right? So if you do an LCA,
which we talked about on Monday,
yes, we did talk about it with Prashant. There's not a lot of pictures here. Basically, plastic packaging can have a smaller environmental impact.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does, in the sense that like the LCAs tend to favor plastic, and it's because of everything we've already talked about. Right? It's lightweight, it protects the product.
LCAs are sponsored by Big Oil.
Is that it? They're all sponsored by. I love Big Pharma, Big Oil, Big Printing. I don't know. That's not, you never hear that. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise that it's going to have a better LCA. I mean, anytime I've ever run one comparing plastic to paper,
plastic wins.
Or plastic's going to win, and therein lies the issue. Is like, it's not as though these LCAs are actually sponsored by Big Oil. It's just numbers. It's just data. That's all it is. And it does take into account recycling and how is it going to be recycled and what's the energy to recycle it. And what I find, and this happens a lot in our industry and other industries, is that people get data. Thank you for posting that Packaging Unboxed podcast. You can read the article. People get data and then they say, well, this data does not support my narrative, and so therefore I have to go find more data that will support my narrative, and then I'm just going to show that data. And it's actually a pretty big problem, I think, across the board, specifically when it comes to sustainability, right? Is like, this is not going to help me sell compostable paper options, and so I'm not going to share it. It's like, that's not how you should operate. It's okay to talk about everything and then let people come to their own decisions, because while plastic might have a really good LCA, it's probably not going to help you in the market, because people don't like plastic by and large. They don't want to buy stuff in plastic.
Yeah, just going back to that 787 coffee, it says that they're biodegradable. I don't know.
Well, here's the deal. If it's not certified by ASTM, what is it? The D6400 compostability test. I'll quote a friend of your show, friend of Cory's show, never been on my show, Tom Zaki, when he said, technically everything is biodegradable. It will degrade. All plastic will degrade. That's part of the problem, is that it will degrade in the environment, and it will degrade into something that is probably not great. So the term biodegradation is a bit tricky because it will always do it. I think even in the future packaging, Tom Zaki says, like, even baby diapers are biodegradable. It's just what are they turning into?
Yeah.
I don't know. When you interviewed Tom Zaki on your show 5 times, Evelio, what did he say anything about that?
Yeah, basically everything's going to break down, right? Just on a long enough timeline, everything ends up biodegrading. But I don't know. Going back to this LCA article, like, they compared a bunch of different packaging types. But one of the ones they did was like PE. They compared 5 types of packaging made from PE: shrink films, 6-pack water bottles, stretch film for wrapping paper, for wrapping pallets, heavy duty sacks for like cement, dog food, and non-food bottles for like shampoo and stuff like that. And it says like 19, they did LCAs for it, and 14 out of the 19 comparisons PE crushed in terms of fewer fossil fuels than any other material. Then they did like 16 out of 19 comparisons. PE was associated with lower greenhouse gas emissions, water scarcity impact, and mineral resource use. But again, same thing. It just depends on what you're looking for.
Yep.
If you're strictly looking at an LCA for the lowest impact beforehand, plastic's going to win.
Yep.
What happens after the fact, that's the part that LCAs don't necessarily take into consideration. You can look that far ahead, but you don't necessarily have to. And you've got a great LCA that says this is better than this. But when you look what happens after consumer uses it, that's the problem. Is it recyclable? Is it, will it work through the current collection systems? Is it large enough to actually go through the process? Is there a demand for that material? Is it more expensive to recycle it than it is to use virgin? And if that's the case, then people aren't going to recycle it. It's not going to get recycled.
Yep.
And that's where
Compass does take into account some of that stuff. Just so you know, it is a thing that you can do in Compass and click different things, and you can change the metrics, even reusability. You can add all of that stuff in. I've just played around with it, so you can do it.
That's what I'm saying. Is that you can look ahead, but you don't have to. And if you don't,
correct,
then plastic is like amazing. But if you look at the full, what happens after the fact, that's where it switches.
Sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. Honestly, I mean, it's just a matter of it's just your opinion, man. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it sometimes. It's like you can move everything around to make it fit whatever it is that you want to fit. And
yes,
I've said this 500 times, right? Like, if someone has something to sell you, check their data. Like, trust but verify what they're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, we're wrapping it up here on Thursday, February 27th. Let us know. Chris, thanks for joining us. Anybody else that joined us, thank you so much. And leave a comment. See you guys.
Bye.